Greetings everyone, T-Strats here with a quick video that will tell you everything you need to know about this new Last of Us Part 2 Grounded update. But first, I'd like to thank PlayStation and Naughty Dog for giving me free early access to this Last of Us Part 2 Grounded update so I can get this information to you as quickly as possible. So with that being said, let's jump into it. So first I will give you a quick laundry list of all of the features that have been added, and then I will follow up with a slightly more detailed explanation of each of these new additions. There are two difficulty modes that have been added. The grounded difficulty makes its return after being very popular in the very first game, and the second is an all-new mode for The Last of Us. It is a Permadeath Mode. Now I will explain more about this mode in a little bit. The second is there are two new trophies for this. The first is having the Permadeath enabled while you make your gameplay. The second is for the grounded difficulty, completing the game with the grounded difficulty. Neither of these are required to earn the platinum. There's an incredible range of gameplay modifiers that have been added in this update. The first is slow motion. The second is bullet speed mode, which I'm kind of calling a matrix mode, which I absolutely love. Infinite ammo, infinite crafting, infinite melee durability, infinite listen mode durability, infinite listen mode range, one-shot deaths, and touch of death with melee. As far as graphics and audio modifiers go, there is a mirror world option that you can turn on that literally horizontally flips the entire world, which makes it feel very strange, and you can also switch it so that it switches back and forth each time you die. As far as the audio goes, there's an 8-bit and a 4-bit audio sound, which kind of gives it a kind of a retro game feel. There is a helium audio mode, which raises all the voices incredibly high, so they almost sound like chipmunks. And then there's a xenon audio mode, which lowers the voices of everyone, making them sound more ominous. One of the more interesting things that I think many of us had zero idea was coming were these new 29 render modes. These modes allow you to switch and change up the entire feel of every scene and encounter. The modes range quite a bit, going from some very light and airy to some very artistic and cartoony, to all the way to something incredibly dark, visceral, and intense feeling render modes. The cool thing about them is you can switch them out at will right in the middle of the game by just going to the options screens and the extras, and you're able to switch it out quite easily. You do not have to reload the whole level. It is very easily done to switch them out. I think they're a super cool feature and addition, and they make for some incredible photo mode shots as well. There are also a whole bunch of new options and improvements that are really neat to look at. The film grain adjusting option is one that a lot of people asked for. There is a disable listen mode option, a motion sensor aiming option, which you literally use your controller and move it in the direction of where you want to aim. There's an arc throw HUD display option, an aiming acceleration scale option, as well as an aiming ramp power scale option to give your aiming just a much different feel should you feel you need that. There are also a ton of accessibility improvements to the Rat King and rope gameplay, as well as just accessibility improvements in general. Naughty Dog did a phenomenal job with accessibility in this game, and they're improving it even more. One thing to keep in mind though is many of these different options can be found in various different option menus. Once you go into the option, it may be in display, it could be under controls, it could be under HUD, or accessibility. It might take you a little while to find where each of these different new options are, but I'm sure once you find them, you'll have a ton of fun fooling around with them and checking out and seeing how they affect your gameplay. Now I want to take a quick moment to discuss two of the biggest features of this update, the grounded mode and the Permadeath mode. Now grounded is simply a difficulty level. It gets added right there to the top. It is the most difficult. Grounded was the most difficult level on The Last of Us Part 1 and is now the most difficult on The Last of Us Part 2. The clickers run incredibly fast. The bloaters, the Rat King, everyone moves quicker, they're stronger. Melee attacks against the infected take far more hits in order to down them. It is just more challenging across the board. Now, the Permadeath mode sounds super intimidating at first glance, but it really is up to you how difficult you want to make it. So the first thing is Permadeath has 3 different options. You can do it per chapter, which means that your progress will be reset to the beginning of the chapter roughly every 30 to 60 minutes. You could do it per act, which is roughly 2 to 5 hours of game time, or the toughest, the entire game. If you die once throughout the entire game, you have to start over. Now, it's important to note you will not be able to manually save the game. There's no way you can cheat and try to trick out of it. And if you quit the game or exit the application while in a dangerous position, it will be treated as a death and you might lose that game save. Now, the other thing about permadeath is it is not only grounded mode that you can use it on. You could use it on moderate, you could use it on light, you could use it on very light, and use one of these permadeath options. So there is some wiggle room with it. It's not solely a grounded mode thing. But with that being said, it certainly raises the stakes quite a bit. I will be thoroughly impressed if anyone is able to get the grounded mode permadeath whole game option. That seems incredibly tough. Now, there are two things I'd like to mention while I show you all 29 of the render modes that this update has to offer. The first is if you want to see much more of these gameplay modifiers and filters and things in action, I did a over 2-hour stream the very morning that I was able to get access to this update. And in that live stream, I go through all the filters, I try a whole variety of different game modes and options, and there's a particularly cool gameplay about the 1 hour and 4 minute mark that I will link here is against the bloater in the arcade. It is absolutely intense and also just phenomenal the way that some of these new mechanics work. It was fantastic stream, and check that out. The other thing is I wanted to thank all of you once again for all of the tremendous support you've had with my video essays lately, both the ending explained and why did Joel save Abby, and I have a third video essay that I'm currently in the process of making right now, which I cannot wait to share with you. So once again, huge thanks to PlayStation and Naughty Dog for providing me with free early access to The Last of Us Part 2 Grounded update. And then also thank you guys for your tremendous support. I really appreciate it, and I can't wait to share more with you. All right, have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll catch you soon. Cheers.